My screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday we go through how to create a VPC from scratch. Okay. So today we will continue the process. So yesterday we created a VPC, then created two subnets, right? And root table as well. Okay, for both subnet, and created a internet gateway and attached to our VPC. Yes, these are the things we done yesterday, right? All of you.
Yes.
Okay. VPC name Apple. Then two subnet. Okay. Subnet one. This will be our public, and this we make as private. This is our root table. And this another root table. So when we choosing our VPC, we can see the workflow of the corresponding VPC. Okay. So this is a VPC yesterday we created. So on that, and here we can see a resource map. See, so scroll down. So it's starting from the VPC. Then we created two subnet under the VPC. Naming is public subnet Apple and private subnet Apple. And for the root table, see, two root table we created. Uh, Private root table created and associated with C is associated with the private subnet. And for the same, we created a public root table and associated with the public subnet. And here we can see the network flow as well. See, when coming to private root table, it's not pointing to, I mean, we didn't add any root table for, sorry, any root for private subnet. That means it's purely private. So when coming to the public subnet, see, it's connected to the public subnet, and it's pointing to network connection internet gateway. That means that specific subnet, public subnet app will have internet connection. Got it? This is just a resource map, how the components interconnected and everything you can see from here. Yeah. So anyone have any doubt regarding creation of VPC, subnet, route table, internet gateway, anything? All clear, right?
I have a one question in regarding this IP address when we put in order to make it public, where you gave the IP address for like 10.0.0.0. So it is supposed to be like always 10.0.0.0 in order to make it public, or we can change it as per the configuration, or like there is some sort of formulas which goes on.
Okay. That's actually as per the requirement, okay? So,
Sorry.
I mean, as per the requirement, okay? For example, the requirement is to create one VPC,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So
Hmm.
sometimes the higher authority will give the IPs. So put the IP like 10 or series or any other series, okay? So we just follow up their required details. Otherwise, we need to study the scenario, and we are the one who choosing the corresponding IP for creating similar types of infrastructure like VPC and subnet as well. So how we
So
will
we will,
choose?
yeah.
Yes, continue, please.
No, I'm saying like, so we will, as a DevOps, we will decide what IP we gonna give to that particular client as per their requirement.
Right, right.
Okay.
So
And how we can use it?
I will show you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that points. Okay, yesterday we have some pending points. That is one is IP, then zones and regions. Then the next thing is I miss zone. IP, region, and Netmask. Okay. Netmask. So the IPs and netmarks are related to network, okay? And region and zone is common, like it's a common feature in all cloud providers. So first we can go with the IPs, okay? So different, I just lost my connection. I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, coming to IP. IP is classified into two types. private IPs, and public. So coming to private IP, there are, I mean, some different classes of IPs are there, okay, for the private one. So public IPs, actually private IPs, when we use some scenarios like, for example, creating a LAN, okay, creation of LAN network, we need to include private IPs. So these private IPs have some classes, okay, class A, B, C, and class D, okay. So different types of classes are there coming to IPs. So as per the requirement, we need to choose corresponding uh, IP classes, okay? Because this IP classified as different A, B, C, D, like that, okay? So the next thing is private IP is defined by anyone can define private IP. I mean, for example, in a office, okay, in a office, there are 10 computers, newly built computers, okay? So yesterday we discussed how to create a communication between these machines, right? So these are the new office and these are the new machines, okay? So how to create a network communication between these machines? Like, for example, this machine needs to talk with the another one, okay? Like, for example, some files are in this machine, so some user in the second machine needs to access that files. And third one as well. Okay, as per the requirement, for example, the seven the users needs to access the first missions, some shared folder or like that. So how we will fulfill the requirement? First of all, we need to create a LAN, right? So we need to set up a switch here and create a LAN connection and plug it on the switch, right? So similar way, all the PCs are connected to the same switch. The next thing is we need to assign a IP to the all machines. Okay, so we assigning private IPs actually. So we say assigning a private IP for the all the machines. So only that that machines needs to talk. Okay, and we need to ensure that all all the machine have same class IP. For example, if we provide A class IP, then all the machines have the A class IP, or B, then same. For example, I provide a IP like 10 dot series, okay, 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0. So this is the first IP for this machine, okay, I'm giving. So the next machine IP would be like 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot 1. Got it? So similar way, this will be the 2, like 0.2, and this is 0.3, 0.4. So the last machine would be 0.10. I mean 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot 10. So we can say all the machine have similar IP ranges and each machine can talk. So all the machine here using a private IP that we provided to each machine and same class. So in this case, we can ensure that all the machine can talk each other using the help of a switch. Got it? So coming to private IP, public IP, okay, who will give the public IP? We can't assign or we can't, provide any public IP to any machine, okay, because the public IP will given by the cloud, sorry, the like the network provider, I mean. service provider. Okay. For example, when we're taking, like BSNL, Geo, then any, network provider, they will given the public IP for the users. Okay. So that we can use internet using the public IP. For example, we have phone, right? And we have SIM there. So when we turn on the uh, internet connection on our phone, which service provider we are use, so they will assign a public IP for us for accessing internet connection in phone. So when we turn off, that IP will vanish. Okay, that IP release, and next time when we turn on the network again, we will get another IP. Okay, that public IP not static. Whenever we turn on, they will provide. They will assign some public IP to us. When we turn off the internet connection, they will release the IP, and they will assign that same IP to any other user. And
So the
they have the
service provider will provide the IP for each machine.
yes. How many machines are there in the globe? Okay,
For
like
example,
yes,
100, then like they will provide 100 IPs.
right. That I will explain with some other scenario because some terms are there.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
like two types of IPs are there. Two category there. IPv4, IPv4, and IPv6. So IPv4 is the oldest. Like before 2015 or 2013, only IPv4 are there. Okay, IPv4, the full form means Internet Protocol version 4. Internet Protocol version 4. And same Internet Protocol, this one is version 6. In simple way, I'm not going to the, deep understanding of these IPs, V4 and V6. Simple term, okay. This is our globe, okay. So, before 2010, okay, before 2010, just assume that how many mobiles, okay, how many mobiles, then how many computers, that lies in our entire universe, okay, like entire globe. So consider that, like for example, coming to a home, okay. So how many mobiles are there? For example, one or two, right? This is a scenario, okay. So similar way, how many computers are there? So whenever these machines, okay, these machines needs internet connection, only the IPv4 are there, okay. IPv4 have some limitation of IPs because, for example, the IPv4 have only assigning some limitation for IP address to the users they need. Okay, so consider that is only coming to the globe. Okay, coming to the globe, there are 1 million users are there. Consider only 1 million users. Okay, because that much users use internet connection at same time. So the IPv4 have 2 million IP at a time they can provide. Okay, so it's easy because coming to the entire universe only 1 million user at a time. So the half of the IP address is now free for the IPv4. But coming 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, coming to 16, consider like coming to a single home, all the members in the home are mobile connection, right? So it's coming to 2 to 5 or like that. 5 members, that means there is 5 mobile devices there, laptops, then other devices, IoT devices like Alexa, similar like things. Then the increase of laptops, mobiles. Now you just consider like that coming to our home, how many mobiles we have in our all members have 1 or 2 mobiles are there, right? So the problem here is uh, now the 1 million comes to 10 million. Okay, 10 million users at a time. So the IPv4 can't afford that much IP because IPv4 have only 2 million IPs. So how to provide the public IP address to the users? So they will introduce IPv6. Okay. So now both are working. IPv4 are there and IPv6 there. Okay. So I coming to IPv6, there is more than IPs. Okay, because like I think around 10x. Okay, 10x more IPs that hold in IPv6. That means for a single home, one user. Okay, coming to one user have 100 mobiles. Okay, consider 100 mobiles. Then the IPv6 can assign IP to the 100 mobiles at a single time to the all users in the entire globe. That means this IPv have V4 have lot of IPs, or they can afford that much IPs to the users. So IPv4 and IPv6 classified into, like, this is example of IPv4 10.0.0.1. This is an example of IPv4. Okay. Then coming to IPv6, it's hexadecimal. Okay. Including numbers and alphabet, like 10.A.B.C. like that. It's classified as, I will show the example. So this is an example of IPv4. Okay. There are some like numeric terms are there in IPs. IPv6. So IPv6 similar like this. This is a IP address. Okay. Under IPv4. Sorry, V6. Uh,
Sir,
what's
I have one more question related to this. Um, like if a person wants to upgrade, if the number of users increases, so initially they started with the IPv4, but
Yes,
can
you
we
see,
scale it up to IPv6 when the number of users increases?
nowadays both are working. V4 and V6 are working. You just see, now I have got a IPv4 public IP. This is my public IP.
Hmm.
167.1.3.2 to 109.
Hmm.
This IP my service provider assigned to me. Whenever I turn off my network, this IP will release, and this will assign to some other user who turn on the internet connection. Now this IP is logged to my details, like my credentials, like my name. Okay. So if I do any fraud or anything within the time frame, they can easily catch up. I mean, they know which user using this public IP at the time this time. I mean, 6:30 a.m. in here. So they have the logs and everything.
So this is not a kind of permanent IP?
No, no, this is not permanent,
Okay.
not static actually. That's why I told you,
Okay,
when
these are
I
static.
turn off the internet connection, this will
Mm-hmm.
released by the cloud, I mean the network provider. And
Okay,
this may assign to another user. Okay.
right. And but in the other case, private IPs remain permanent.
Yes. Private IP we provide, right? when we set up a two machines in our home, okay. So that our requirement is to talk with the one machine to the other machine. So we need to provide IPs. So we can provide private IPs. That is permanent, static IPs. Because that private IP is only used for internal communication, not external communication. We can't access internet using private IPs. Got it? Or confused?
No, good, sir. Thank you.
Okay. For example, I will just show you, okay, that just take an example of two machines, okay.
Excuse me, Tofik.
Yes.
Can you let me into the meeting? I'm just going to log in from another device.
Sure.
Thanks. I'm just going to leave this one and then join the other one.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. So this is the PC1, new PC, okay, PC2. Okay. So new PCs. So one file here. So these machines need to, there is one user and here one user, okay. This user, okay, need to access this file from the PC1. So what we will do, we just go to the internal settings of, the LAN settings of this PC and provide a IP, a public IP. Sorry, a private IP, 0.0.1. And coming to the machine and do the same, we need to include that machine to the same network, okay, 0.2. So these both machines have same IP address, okay, like these private IPs. So they can communicate with this machine.
Okay, can you share the other screen?
Oh, sorry. Now it's visible, right? So here we have PC1 and PC2. So this is a PC1 and PC2. So these are the user. So these users need to access a file from PC1. So what we'll do, we can set up the private IPs. So I am providing 10.0.0.1 to this machine and 0.2 to this machine, okay? So both machine can talk. Then we can use file share, okay? For example, log into the machine and put the IP of the next machine and hit enter. Then this file is visible in this machine. So we can save the file or read the file like that. So that's the requirement, okay? So the another scenario is these machines need a internal connection. Got it? So what will we do? We need to take a internet connection. This is the modem, and this is going to the cloud network provider. And here we have a router. Okay. So coming to the router, the modem to the router, they will assign a public IP. Got it. So the router configuration, there is a configuration for router. This router configuration, we can set up our own which IP that we provide. Okay. So in this case, the 10 dot series IP we provide. So router configuration, there is a service called gateway. Okay. So there we can provide this IP we are using for our these species. So the routers knows these are the local IP for this scenario. So we can take a plug the LAN cable from the router. We set up a switch here and plug it this LAN cable to here and here. then provide that router LAN cable to the switch. So these machines have internet connections. Got it? Any doubt?
Sir, so the service provider will provide a IP to the router, right?
Yes. That modem connection have the public IP.
Modem connection has a public ID. Okay, what about the machines then, in this case?
They need only the private IP, no problem. Because for example, when we send a mail, okay, send a mail to anyone, how this process, then from here this go to the switch, then go to the router, and out of the router, okay, or the modem, we facing only the public IP. I mean, these public IPs will showcase to the others, so they know this is a IP they use for the sending the mail. Got it? This IP is not visible anywhere, the private one.
Okay. Okay. So can we say like with the help of a modem, we can connect private to public? I mean, we can connect these connections like with the help of modem. Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yes, modem
In
be
other ways,
important.
yeah, in a broad view, in a broad view. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So coming to cloud, okay, this is cloud. So we just provide the same thing. For example, even the VPC, we provide a public IP, sorry, private IP, right? So coming to subnet, we provide the private IP, and even all the other subnet provide the same. Or whenever we providing IP, that means that IP is purely public. We can't assign or we can't provide public IP. Okay, that public IP offered by service provider. So the next thing is Netmask. What is Netmask? For example, we provide a IP 10.0.0.0. So after that, okay, we will provide a Netmask. Netmask is coming ranges starting from 0 to 32. Okay. So in between we can provide any Netmask. For example, same IP, then we can provide 16, then 24. Any IP we can provide, okay, in between 0 to 32. So how we will provide the Netmask? Netmask is a kind of like dividing IPs, okay? Dividing IP address. For example, I will show you the calculation. Netmask calculator. So this is easy use Netmask calculator. Okay. For example, we need to create a VPC. That's a requirement. We need to create a VPC. Create a VPC, and we need to provide IP address. Like we need to provide any IP like 10 series. So we are confused, okay, which subnet that we need to use for, because the subnet is mandatory when creating VPC. So we have the confusion. So how we need to calculate? In simple way, we can just go to Netmask. So why we use the Netmask? So when we use Netmask, that means we can see how many IP address that will assign for the given IP. Okay, that means how many private IPs, not public. Okay, how many private IPs that we will get inside our VPC. Okay, because this IP we provide in the VPC creation. Okay, so come to here, then we can provide the IP that we provide in the using to create for the VPC. So this is IP we are providing. Okay, so here we can see it's 32 there and 1 there. Okay, not 0. It's coming to 1 to 32. We can given any IP, sorry, any net mask. Okay, in between 1 to 32. As per the requirement, we need to choose the corresponding net mask. Okay, most commonly used net mask is 16. Here you can see when choosing the net mask, we can see here how many IP address that we will get. See, so as per the requirement, we need to choose corresponding net mask. So most probably we are choosing 16. So whenever you choose 16, that means we will get 65,536 IPs within our VPC. So that means that much devices we can afford in our VPC. Got it? So that much IP we will get. So just we can choose 16. Okay. So here you can see how many IP ranges. 65,536 IP we will get. That means inside the VPC we can hold that much. 65.
Sir, so the 16 is the subnet, right?
16 is not a subnet, it's a net mask.
I think I missed it. Can you please repeat?
Can I explain something?
Yeah, sure, Amar.
So you have 32 numbers, 32 bits that are, so you see 4 numbers, 1 number dot, second number dot, third number dot, fourth number, right? So this combination addresses certain number of addresses. When you make a mask, you basically say this many bits are blocked off. So you can't change these many bits. So it becomes a smaller section of that that address space. So and that is called a mask. So the bigger the mask is, the less addresses that are left. The smaller the mask, the bigger the network. That is where it is like counterintuitive.
Can you go to that another page, calculator page?
Sorry?
Calculator. Can you go to the calculator page? Yeah. Here you can go to the drop down. Yeah. Here you can explain, Amul. You can explain now.
Yes.
Yeah. So the it will show you as like the bigger number you use, the less and less addresses are left.
Yes.
So if you put
Yeah,
16 mask 32, that means only 1 IP address is left. These are 32 bits. If you lock in 32 bits, that means that's one specific address. If you lock in 31 bits, then there's 2 addresses left because they're all binary numbers, 0 and 1, right? So the biggest, yeah, that's what it is. So when he says subnet mask is 16, that means half the bits are blocked. Like it's going to be half the size of the 32 address space.
Okay. Thanks, Amol.
Welcome.
Okay. So in this case, we have that much IP because we use 10 dot series, right? In here, we use the netmask 16 for our VPC. That means inside the VPC can hold 65,536 IPs. So the next thing is we need to create 2 subnet, right? So coming to subnet, we again provide the netmask and IP, right? So first subnet I am providing this IP 10.0.0.0 and the netmask is 24. Okay. So we can see when we provide the 24 netmask, how many IPs we will get inside a subnet. Okay. See, only 256 IP within a single subnet. That means we can hold 256 IPs inside the subnet 1. And we can accommodate that much resources. For example, 256 machines we can create it here. So these subnets can assign a single IP to this much machines. Got it? So similar way in this second subnet, we provide same 10.0.1.0.
There is one question I had, Tawfiq.
Yes.
So 10.0.0.0 is like IP address, right?
Yes.
So inside that IP address, if I block off 24 bits, they're the last 24 bits, right?
Right.
So the first one.
Then I will show you that. It's a numerical things. 10.0.0.0. Okay. This is total 32 bit actually, right? 8,
Yes.
8, 8, and 8. Right. So that 32 minus 24. How much you will get?
So 8 left.
Only 8, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. 8 is 16. 24. Yes, right. So the first 3, 8, 8, 8, these three is our network. These are called network. Network host, we call it network host, network, and this is the host.
How many first ones are the network?
These
8
three,
ones.
24 is our network. This won't change. Only the 0 change. Because for the 8-bit means how many IPs we will get in 8? 255, right?
Yeah. So what is the smallest IP? 10 dot.
Yeah, I will explain. So yes. So we said like for the single subnet only 256 IP, right? So the last IP would be 10.0.0.255 like that. Got it. And this network part won't change because our netmask is 24. If we provide 16,
So like the first 24 bits are fixed, and
right.
that's the address 10 dot,
This
and
is
you're going to start counting up from that 10.0.0.0 is the first address, and you're going to count up 255. It'll be total 256 addresses, right? Because 0 to 255 will be 256 addresses.
right, right.
Okay, so the
And-
first, that's I think what I would always forget. Like, is it the first bits that are blocked or the last bits that are blocked?
First one. This blocked one we called as networks. This is our network. This won't change.
This will
Okay.
not. Okay. So, sir,
Okay.
these 256 we can say like are the users, right? User
No,
like
yes.
the
This
host means
250
like
IP
the
we
machines
will get.
where we are using them.
Right. For example, we deploy one virtual machine here. Okay. So the subnet will assign one private IP within our this 255 IPs. For example, 10.0.0.1. Again, we deploy another machine. So they assign another IP 0.2. So same way we can we can afford 256 machines within the subnet. So the subnet have that much IP. So they can, subnet can assign IPs to the resources within the same subnet.
Sir, I have one question. So how did we get this 256 figure from this 8 like what's the formula like?
Powers of 2.
Powers of the 2. So 8
Oh,
to
Yeah,
the
2
power
to the power 8 is 256.
2 to the power 8.
Yes.
Okay.
Any doubt?
No, sir. Thank you.
So yeah, this way we will assigning IPs, okay? Assigning IP to VPC. So now all of you know, I mean, how to set IPs, right? For example, if we provide 10.0 series, then how much IP we provide to the VPC, and what netmask we need to assign to the specific subnet, and everything is fine, right? Because in simple term, for example, in our home, okay, there is 100 apples there, consider like that. In our home, okay, 100 apples there. So inside home there is 2 rooms. The home is VPC, okay, home is VPC, and the rooms are subnet. Subnet 1, room 1 is subnet 1, and room 2 is subnet 2. So inside home only 100 apples there, okay. So we need to provide that apples to the room 1 and room 2, because room 1 have some people's, they need the apples, right? So we need to provide the apples to them. Okay, so the room 1 asking to us that we need 200 apples. That means 200 IPs needs this subnet 1. Okay, so we can we can provide 200 because only we have 100, right? So we need to allocate that IPs accordingly. Okay, so we need to design all the things before. So if we need to provide 200 apples to this single room, then we need to we need to add more, right? So before we need to choose the net mask and everything. So in this case, we have only 100 apples. So we can divide by 50 to this room and 50 to this room. Got it. In future, I mean, we don't know how many members they will come and go. So we need to afford all the resources accordingly. Okay. Otherwise, we will some issues we need to face. So before creating VPC, we need to, that's why we provide 16 IP, okay? Because we don't bother about anything because we have that much IP, 65,536 IP be there. Then we creating subnet, we will segregate the IP. Only 256 we provide. So that the left of the IPs will remaining in the VPC. So don't worry about that. For example, we can deploy so much subnet within the VPC, and again, we can provide 250 to other subnets. Got it. For example, in this scenario, okay, we have created VPC with the netmask 16. So when we creating subnet, we miss the 24, okay, that netmask 24, and we provide 16 to the single subnet. So what will happen here? The full 65,536 IP assigned to a single subnet. So next time we create another subnet and providing IP, we are facing issues because all the VPC IP address assigned to the first subnet. Got it?
So, sir, I have one question here. So initially, if we have a one subnet and we gave these many IPs to that one subnet, but later on in future, we got the requirement that we need to create the another subnet. So can we divide
No,
at that
no,
time?
no,
Can
no,
we divide?
no.
No. Oh,
Because
we cannot.
we assigned in this example, we have 100 apple and we provide all the apples to the room one. We can't take that thing. One thing is we need to remove, delete the room and create one more.
New.
Otherwise,
Okay.
yeah, that's the only thing. That's why we need to architect all the things before creation of providing the IPs, Netmask, and all the things. So the most common way we are using 10.series, 10.0.0, then 16. Then this is safe way. Then we can
This
provide,
is the safest one.
yeah, because we have that much IP ranges. This is a big IP ranges, right? The 65,000 some 536 IPs we will have. So we can, when creating subnet, we need to provide small net mask like 24, 26, 27, anything like that as per the requirement. Because when we creating a subnet, they will provide some things like how many resources that we need to uh, include in the specific subnet. For example, some subnets only need 10 IPs or 100 IPs. So we can divide that using netmask. Got it? Any doubt? Good, right?
Yes, for now.
Okay. So as a DevOps engineer, we just like providing IPs. Okay. For example, just to know the private IP, the IP ranges that we use for private and the netmask. That's fine because we didn't dig more into the networks actually. So now I hope you know how to create a VPC and assigning IP to the VPC, the netmask, and creating subnet and which IP that we need to provide and which netmask we need to provide in the subnet. That's fine. Got it. For example,
Yes. Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Sir, how did we reach to that calculator screen? I just missed that part. That is within the AWS or like, yeah, this is screen.
this is a website actually.
Okay.
I,
So whenever we need to go and like create the IP, like check for the IPs, so
if
we
you
need to
have
check here.
confusion, then we can check here because we can provide 10 dot series, but we are confused which IP that we need to provide. We can
Okay.
provide this netmask. Which netmask we need to provide. We can choose 24 for creating this like VPC, no problem, because we need only 250 IP. Then
Okay, sir.
again, we can divide by 25, 24, 25 for creating subnet. Similar way we can choose. The best practice is go with the 16 for creating VPC. Then creating subnet, we can choose 24. Okay, 24 is fine because this is a minimal number. 256 is fine for subnet. Okay. The next thing is zones. Availability zones. Availability zones and region. So these are the two terms coming to cloud provider. Anyone have any idea? For the newcomers, availability zones, region. Any idea?
I think the availability zone is like the area where we have all the data centers, like for that particular region.
Right, right. So coming to the cloud computing, okay. Cloud computing. What is cloud computing? No idea.
I don't know how to phrase it. Like it's a very like broad broad view definition, you can say. It's like, what I understood is like, um you are just renting the clouds. No, you're renting the server services without having the actual physically servers installed within your facility. You're just kind of renting them from the other service providers.
Yes, simply say we pay
Yeah.
to the provider, and they offer services, include compute, database, similar like that. Okay. So someone need to set up the infrastructure, right? Real infrastructure. For example, this is our entire universe. Okay, I mean globe. So they will provide, they will debate different areas as region. Okay, for example, US, then Canada, UK, Australia, India, UAE, like that. Different countries, they will uh, segregate with the different region. Okay, their own regions. For example, US and Canada is one region. Okay, then UAE, India, that's another region like that. Or yeah, Australia is another region. Okay, this is another region like that. Okay, so coming to, this is actually a region. What is region means? It's a collection of availability zones. Region actually, it's a collection of availability zones. So that means within the region we can see lot more than 2 or 3 availability zone. For example, if you are choose US region, okay, then there is 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 availability zones are there. So AZ1, AZ2, AZ3, and AZ4. So that availability zone means it's a physical data center, okay, where they keep that infrastructure. That means servers, switches, routers, everything is in the specific availability zones data center or the server farm. Got it. So this each available zone is far away from another available zone. Okay, because that why they keeping this distance means uh, when we choosing the available zone, okay, we can deploy our machines or our infrastructure with more than one available zone. Okay, for example, here some issues there. Okay, some calamities or earthquake or anything, our entire infrastructure will damage, right? I mean, their infrastructure will damage. So our data won't miss. Okay, that's why they provide us to deploy applications or infrastructure within more than 2 available zones. So our data is here safe in availability zone 2. Got it. So coming to Indian region, okay, there is 2 data centers there, I think, Mumbai and Chennai. So I'm going to deploy an application or I'm deploying some machines. So I'm choosing available zone 1, I mean Chennai and Mumbai. Okay. If anything happen in Chennai, okay, any flood or any other issues, this data, I mean that infrastructure will collapse or anything like that. Our data is safe in the Mumbai region data center. That's why we are deploying our infra to multiple available zones. And the next thing is we need to focus our customers. Okay. For example, we are deploying some application. Okay. That application only focus on UK peoples. Okay. The UK peoples are our customers. So we can deploy our application to the nearest like data center so the UK customer can access easily. Okay, easily means it's just the time frame lag. That's why. But we deploying our infrastructure, everything we can choose UK, so they can access fastly because that's the nearest infrastructure we set up for the UK customer. So similar scenario, we can choose availability zones and region. Any doubt? All are good, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I think we can wind up, right? Today's section. And tomorrow we can start with the virtual machines and deploying application.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
can you please share the AWS link one more time in the chat box? I need it actually.
AWS link for creation of free tier, right?
For creating the account.
Okay, okay.
Although I already did it, but I didn't save it. So
just type AWS and I will show you.
okay.
So this is the, see here you can see create a free account. So click on that. And here provide the root email. Okay, root email means the root user account. Okay, so whoever create the AWS account, that person will be the root user. So provide the root user here and account name. We can provide any name. Then verify email. Then we will get a authentication in our provided email. Then provide the like code here. Then you can continue with some basics details we need to provide. That's all. I think we need to provide the card details, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
they were asking for the card details.
Yes, we just provide the card detail, but they didn't. I mean, by default, automatically they didn't take money. No problem with the
Okay.
AWS.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have Indian credit card? Credit card?
To me, right, Mahesh?
No. I'm talking Pooja.
No, US.
No, I think no need to provide credit card. I think debit card is fine, right?
Better credit card only, sir. You can cut it and throw it off in case if that they charge more.
Okay, okay. I provided, I think, debit card, my debit card. I think my old.
Because you honestly pay.
You should never give a debit card because if somebody sees your identity, your bank will not reimburse you until they catch the person. If you use a credit card and your identity is stolen, the bank, all you have to do is tell your credit card company that these are not my charges, and they will not charge you, and they will cancel that credit card basically, and they will try to find the person. But if your personal banking gets stolen, until they catch the person that did it, the bank doesn't care. So don't use your debit card. Use a credit card.
Got it.
And also monitor it carefully. So,
Then I think Pooja, you can use your credit card. Okay.
Yeah, I did it already. It's just like I was not able to find the link, so it was so silly. But yeah, I got it now.
Okay, fine.
If you don't find the link, go back to your email address. There will be a confirmation email, verification email.
Yeah. I
You
didn't
click on
realize that way.
Others, you have to remember your the email address. So just you can log in and give a password to get in.
Yeah, they send the confirmation email for that code.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember.
Then we can wind up, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then
Sure.
see tomorrow we can deploy a virtual machine to the subnet we created. Then we can deploy some application. Okay.
Okay.
Then bye all.
Bye. Have a good
Bye.
night. everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Bye all. Thank you.
You want to exchange from Miss